Hello fellow artists and or art lovers, welcome to Doodle This. I'm DJ, and for today's episode, it's a fan request. This one comes from Jesus Ramirez Romero 2037, who's asked to draw Zelda characters but in modern times. So make sure you got your fairy jar, your Triforce piece, and let's doodle. So right off the bat, let's start with Zelda, since her name is in the title. Something you might notice for this video, I decided to go with the character styles from Wind Waker. I went with that style because 1, I love that game, and 2, I've seen people draw Zelda characters in modern times before, but they always used like their Skyward, Breath of the Wild designs, so I really want to try and do something a bit different. So I thought, why not go with like the Toon Link style essentially. For Zelda, I was originally going to give her a dress or a long skirt, but then I thought modern Zelda would probably wear something like a skirt, long pants combo. At the end, when you see the completed piece, you'll see I want to incorporate colors not just from Wind Waker, but also from Breath of the Wild. Speaking of Breath of the Wild, I had to give Zelda her Sheikah slate. And I apologize if I didn't say that correctly. When trying to decide what a modern Zelda would wear, I also thought, well, what would she be doing in her free time? Probably playing on her tablet, and I imagine her to maybe be like an artist who would draw on her tablet, taking photographs, or maybe she's handling important documents for her to read so she can go out to explore while handling important stuff in Hyrule. I basically just drew Zelda if she were a college student, which just makes this even more perfect in my opinion. So there we go, folks, our first drawing to start us off. Next up is our hero Link. Now with Link, I pretty much knew exactly what to do. For this modern Link, I thought maybe this guy in this timeline is a lot more of a chill person, at least until, something goes down. He prefers to wear comfy clothes, he's got to wear a hat, and then lastly, I was like, well, he needs to chill with something, so why not a Game Boy, since just like today, retro is the big thing. In case some people are wondering why I love Wind Waker so much, I just love the art style. I love the story. Like, this is an alternate timeline where Link didn't return, so the goddesses submerged Hyrule in order to save it, or at least prevent Ganon from, doing even more harm. I'll be honest, when it came to the Legend of Zelda games, I didn't really have a fondness to them like others have. Not saying that they're bad, I just preferred other games, and also, as a kid, I struggled playing the first game. I remember maybe getting halfway through the game, even finding Link's white suit and the blue ring, but I never completed it. Maybe one day I'll actually sit down and try again. But there we have it, guys, Link dressed up for the modern age. And last, but certainly not least, we have the big baddie himself, Ganondorf. Ganon, I also kind of knew what to do for him. I imagine him, like, if he was in modern times, he'd be like this big-time crime boss, so he's got to wear the fancy suits, he's got to wear the expensive fur coats most mob bosses would wear, he's got the pimp rings, he's got some gold chains, and he sees Hyrule as just like another territory for him and his gang to completely take over. So basically, if this was a setup to a game, we have the college student Zelda, who asks help from Link, who doesn't go to her school but maybe to a different school, to help her fight against the kingpin known as Ganon. I know also in the games, Ganon has like this pig form, so I thought, what if Ganon also had like a pet wild hog instead of like a attack dog? Originally, I was going to try and replicate his shape from the Wind Waker games, but then I opted for this much more slim look, mainly because his design in Wind Waker is a little weird to me, mainly with the legs. I can't explain it, it just looks kind of off to me, but that could just be me. Honestly, also, I wish I had more to say about the Legend of Zelda franchise, but I just don't really. I like it just fine, but I wouldn't call myself like a die-hard fan. I will admit, though, that I do like Legend of Zelda animated series. I know a lot of people hate it, but I like it. I know it's very cheesy, but there are some things I do really like that they do, like how they handle certain items, and they included the original music and sound effects, which is always a nice touch and a bonus in my book. And with that, folks, here's our final entry, Ganon with his pet pig, Dorf. I'm just gonna call it Dorf. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my take on what I feel like modern Zelda characters would look like, and if you guys have any suggestions for future episodes, just leave a comment down below. And with that, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode.